Hi everyone, welcome back to my Number Sense series. In this video, we're going to be talking about a certain kind of question that I like to call the sum of products. So this usually just involves two numbers being multiplied and adding them together. And at first, it's going to seem ugly, but there's always some manipulation that we can do to make it nicer. For example, 12 times 23 plus 31 times 4. Now the key to most of these questions is to look at a number that is a factor of another number in the problem. For example, here, 4 is a factor of 12, and that's a very important observation that we're going to have to make. Usually, the number we're going to look for is the smallest number in the problem, but not always, so be careful. It's just a number that is a factor of another number in the problem. So 4 is a factor of 12 here. So we would like to use the distributive property in reverse, right? We would like to go from AB plus AC to A times B plus C, because it's easier to add two numbers then multiply than to multiply twice then add. So what we want to do is, we already have a 4 here, we want to get a 4 here. So we write 12 as 4 times 3, right? Times 23 plus 31 times 4. Now this is going to be 4 times 69 plus 31 times 4. And now we see where the inverse distributive property comes into play, or just the distributive property, right? To go from AB to AC, we do A times parentheses B plus C. Now, B and C here are going to be 69 and 31. So it's going to be 4 times 69 plus 31, which, of course, it works out nicely, is 4 times 100. So our answer is going to be 400. And that's usually how this kind of problem goes. The hardest part is really just getting it into this stage. Once you get into this stage, it's going to be pretty easy, but the hardest part is, getting it from here to here. So let's do some practice. 5 times 21 plus 33 times 15. Once again, let's look for the factors, right? What are the factors? It's going to be 5 and 15, right? Once again, it is the smallest number of the problem, but be careful. It might not always be that way. So it's 5 and 15. So we're going to try to get a 5 in this expression. 15 is 3 times 5. 33 here. So this is going to be 5 times 21 plus 99 times 5. So once again, we can do the distributive property, and we're going to get 5 times 21 plus 99. 21 plus 99 is 120, so it's 5 times 120, which equals 600. Again, it's always going to work out nicely. So if you get something like this, A times B, where B ends in a 0, you're probably doing something right. Now 18 times 13 plus 24 times 9. Again, there's only one pair of factor things in this problem. It's 9 and 18, right? So we're gonna try to get a 9 in here. How do we get it? We get it from the 18. So we factor 18 as 9 times 2 times 13 plus 24 times 9. So what's this? This is 9 times 26 plus 24 times 9, which is 9 times 26 plus 24. Now with 26 plus 24, it's just 50. So it's 9 times 50 equals 450. Last two problems is going to be basically more of the same. 7 times 16 plus 14 times 17. Once again, where are the factors at? It's going to be 7 and 14. Hopefully, we can get some practice with recognizing that quicker. Sorry if I've been going too fast this video. So we want to get a 7 in here. So it's going to be 7 times 2 times 17, which is 7 times 34. So 7 times 16 plus 7 times 34. 16 sevens plus 34 sevens. How many sevens does that give us in total? 7 times 50. So it's 350. Very nice. Last problem, very similar. 16 times 27 plus 8 times 26. Where's the factor pair? 8 and 16. Now 16 is 2 times 8, so we're going to factor it as 8 times 2 times 27 plus 8 times 26. This is going to be a little less nice, but still very nice to multiply. 2 times 27 is 54. Plus 26, 54 plus 26 gives us 80. 8 times 80 is going to be 640. Boom. And so you can see how all these problems basically go, right? The most important thing is recognizing which number is a factor of another number. Then we use that smaller number to kind of simplify the problem via the distributive property done in inverse from this way to this way. So once again, it's really just about recognizing this, and once you know the pattern is, very, very similar. So these problems are not too hard to memorize, get the feel of, So yeah, that should be it for this kind of question. I'll see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.